Okay, so the thing I've learned about people is that the bias, right? So everyone's biased. They want to follow their own incentive. They want to get what they want out of their own lives. And that's natural. And so without people agreeing that they align their incentives so that everyone gets the most out of what they want and out of their trade, then we don't actually have a model where we keep winning together. And that's to be expected, you know. Um, so here's an example of Princess Mononoke. And Princess Mononoke has a lot of forest themes from what I remember from a long time ago. I watched this when I was very young. And the problem with Princess Mononoke is that it's full of the nature twisting life. It's going to grab it and break it often. And the forest is something like that in the real world, because our ancestors walked forested places often, and now we walk in 70,000 world cities and towns and that kind of thing. So with so many cities in the world, we are a concrete jungle, right? And this concrete jungle is full of trees because people love trees and jungles in the cities around the world. And they often pride themselves on having forested or jungled cities. And so there's a point where you have to understand that the level of ability gets maximized. People want cities, they want trees, they don't protect the trees, they don't protect the cities, they just put them together. And what happens is that these trees are going to break the buildings and the roads. And I know that because when I was in grade 8, grade 9 and grade 10, I worked long hours in kind of like religious institutions because that's where I lived, that's how that's what I had. And it was kind of like my all year, my everything I had. So, and we did a lot of farm work while studying. And one time they built a basketball court and explained that grass can break through concrete, but they couldn't do anything about it. They weren't going to plan that. They were making sure there's no grass or anything like that. But the problem was that they didn't use land reclamation experts, which means that if you don't have people that know how to make land, you don't have people that know how to actually control that problem. And this is going to result in what happened, which is something like grass broke through very quickly. It just punctured right through the concrete. In no time at all, it cracks just went. Okay, so they tried to clear it of any grass, right? But they didn't use land reclamation experts. There's no way they protected a $50,000 investment. It just broke. Of course, they can still play hockey, they can still play basketball and all that, but they get a broken court. Now, if you go anywhere in the city, you're going to see that same. No one uses land reclamation experts. I'll tell you that right now. They don't afford that. What they afford is that they can afford a basic build. They build their home, they build their building, they build their road, and grass breaks the foundation. Trees break your foundations. You know, guy tells me he has to pay 50 grand. I've heard that story over and over again for broken foundations. Why did it cost 50 grand? I don't know. That's what they said. Now water's everywhere. Now it's the other thing. How many floods did you get in your lifetime? Tons. In any basement, in any massive institution. Just, foundations are broken again. Why do you think that is? Because no one got that the trees are strangling their property forever. By the time you pay it off, it's already broken it again. What do you mean you don't have a land reclamation expert to save you 50 grand? Over and over and over again. So honestly, I'm going to tell you something as obvious as don't drink the Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is wrecking your future. Starch is wrecking your future. It's grabbing what's around you and breaking your home. It's breaking whatever you try to build. And it's kind of wild, like this movie, Princess Mononoke. We are juxtaposing all these resources in the most awful way nearby each other. And it's actually quite terrifying, like these monsters. People are freaking themselves out. They're ready to figure out like this or something. Okay, so it's kind of like Lord of the Rings as well. The troops went to war. They're upset with the soldiers, so they're fighting. I didn't know that the book did this one. I thought the book had originally just stayed. They were just fighting in the forest and they didn't join the war. But anyway, there's so many interpretations of what that was. I didn't read the book anymore in forever. I think I skimmed through it a little bit. It was so hard to read it when I was younger. I loved the audio tapes though. I thought I had listened to like a real like copy of it. But anyway, uh, okay. I don't really want to read it anymore though. It was something like when I was younger, I got too tired to read it. I needed electrolytes or something. Too much starch. But okay, like take a look at this, right? So it's like this trees are like breaking buildings and stuff like that. So honestly, that goes toward, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Now, for that reason, I'm going to put this video and these two videos in the description below. I would love you to check out this video. This is Natalia Kill. She's my absolute favorite. I absolutely love her. And she does a perfect job. So try this concept of politics and don't drink the Kool-Aid. And think about industrial starch. You could live a complete life of comfort, and all that irritation and bother and overprocessing can get replaced by eating good food instead, and you can focus your life on some other problems. Figure out what else you could do to actualize yourself. So I wish you the best. I hope you love this video. She is absolutely amazing, and take care.